Hi, and thanks for joining me. In this series of videos, I'm going to be doing some show and tells, a bit like how kids take things into school to show their friends and teachers. And in this first video, we're going to start with some hedgehogs that I've made. Now, these hedgehogs are made using needle felting. Now, if you're not familiar with needle felting, what you do is you get wool. So this is wool that hasn't been spun, so it can't be used for knitting yet, or crocheting or anything like that. And you get a special barbed needle. Now these needles have little barbs on them, and then when you poke the needle into the wool, it grabs the fibres and pulls them through. If you do that enough times, which you do a lot, the wool then starts getting firm, and then you can start sculpting it into solid objects. Now ideally, you don't want to be felting into your fingers like I've just been doing. You want to be using a mat. So I would have used a brown wool for the hedgehogs, something like Manx Low-Hacton wool. Wool from each type of breed of sheep is actually quite different, and it's really fascinating to see all the different types of sheep you have and all the different types of wool that comes off them and just the variety in the wool. Anyway, I would have needle felted the body of the hedgehog and his legs and his little ears, put a little bit of white in his ears here, even giving him a little tail on the back. And then his face, beads that have the metal hook out the back for the eyes, little nose, and a little bit of detail, including the mouth. And then the spikes on this particular type of hedgehog is made by using mohair fur. Now you can buy mohair fur from a lot of craft stores or online. It is actually quite expensive, which is why you'll find that a lot of mohair bears that you buy are actually very expensive to buy. And you get different length spikes on the mohair fur. You can see this hedgehog has quite long spikes. This piece of fabric has in between level spikes, and this little one here has much shorter spikes. So when I finished my needle felted hedgehog, I would have sewed this mohair fur onto him just with a needle and a thread, and then put a little bit of white wool around it to hide the thread so it looks a bit more natural. So far I've made 2 hedgehogs using the mohair fur, and they're rather cute, aren't they? Another way of making hedgehogs is the same idea. You would need a felt body. This one I've done with no legs, so he's quite stylised. Again, the little ears, little eyes and a little nose. But on this one, I've actually used locks for his spikes. So these are locks that have come off a sheep. They haven't been carded, which is when you make the wool sort of straight. They've still got their lovely curl in them. And although he looks a little bit quirky, I think they make quite nice little hedgehogs, don't you? You also can get these locks in a whole variety of different colours. So you can make a blue hedgehog, a pink hedgehog, or even a multicoloured hedgehog. The world is really your oyster, and you can let your imagination run wild. I've actually made some multicoloured hedgehogs, and I've given them as gifts to my friends' daughters. But I'll see if I can intersperse some photos here so you can have a look at them. Well, I hope you've enjoyed meeting our little hedgehogs. I guess I ought to actually give them names, shouldn't I? I don't think I ever have. But these are the ones that I've kept. I think my son took a particular liking to this one and wouldn't let me sell him. And these are more recent makes, and I just never got round to selling them because I think they're rather cute, don't you? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.